Here we go then, episode 2, part 2 of my Forza Horizon 6 series. Hello there guys, and welcome to another brand new video on the channel, and welcome to episode 2, part 2 of my Horizon 6 series. Now first things first, if you haven't yet seen part 1 of this episode 2, or indeed episode 1, then definitely go ahead and watch that for your benefit, because there's going to be stuff mentioned in this video that references both part 1 and episode 1. So it's going to be beneficial for you to already have that understanding of the things that I've talked about in those videos. So in part 1 we talked about cities, potential cities I must add, and in episode 1 we talked about the basics of the game, compatibility, and the map in general. This episode 2 is really diving more deeply into the map with cities in part 1, landmarks in today's part 2, and then part 3 to come will be racetracks. Now that might already be getting you thinking, so do look forward to part 3 because that's going to be an interesting one for sure. But today is also going to be interesting because, as I've mentioned, it's going to be covering landmarks, all potential landmarks. Again, I must add, none of this in this video is confirmed, it's all speculation from me. I've done a lot of research on Japanese landmarks, and I've compiled quite a few that I think would be cool to include in the game, to represent the culture of Japan, for us to understand the culture better, and just generally some cool things that would be really cool to have on the map, be able to discover, take photos with, and learn more about via the medium of Horizon. In addition to all of my voiceover, there's going to be Japanese themed background gameplay, there's going to be lots of images popping up on the screen, there's going to be text and potentially some sound effects as well. So there's a lot to look forward to in this video, there's a lot of editing gone into it, so if you can show your support and like the video and subscribe if you can as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. But now I'm going to jump straight into this part 2, I'm not going to talk for any longer in this intro. I will see you at the end for a summary, but obviously throughout as well I'll be talking. Hopefully it's going to be an interesting video for you. Enjoy! Right then, so we've covered cities, and now I want to move on to section 2, which is going to be landmarks. So these are essentially features of the map, beauty spots, things like that, that are going to signify where we can drive in free roam on the map. So these are things like the temples in Horizon 5, the abandoned railway station in Horizon 4, Arthur's Seat in Horizon 4, the canyon in Horizon 5, and also some smaller things as well, like the murals in Horizon 5 that signify the Mexican culture, and then there's the things obviously in Horizon 6 that would signify the Japanese culture. So I've put a bit of a note on my research document here, because these following landmarks would be extra special if we would be able to get out of our cars. I know this is something that I haven't really discussed before, but a lot of people have wanted Horizon to go that step beyond what it is at the moment and allow you to get out of your car, walk around, see the things that are in free roam, walk around your actual garage and have cars parked in a garage rather than just a metaphorical garage where you can only load them to drive them in free roam and see one at a time in the festival loading screen. So all of these landmarks would really come to life in terms of understanding the Japanese culture and what it's all about if we would be able to get out of our cars, walk up to them, get really close up to them, and be able to go beyond those invisible walls that seem to be everywhere in all of the Horizon games so far. You think that you can go and explore things, and then you find that there's an invisible wall and you can't drive there, and even when you're in photo mode or drone mode you still can't access these really cool parts of the map, like the real intricacies. So it'd be really cool if with Horizon 6 they go above and beyond, implement that feature where you can get out of your car and just be able to see these things in detail and get to understand them more than just looking at them from a distance from your vehicle. Okay then, so first on my list is the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove / Forest, which is a natural bamboo forest with several pathways located in Kyoto. Obviously the part of the pathways there links into that thing about being able to get out of your car and explore it beyond that boundary, being able to walk down these paths and experience what somebody in Japan would actually be able to experience. The Ministry of the Environment for Japan considers it a part of the soundscape of Japan, which is really cool, and hopefully they can capture this make the area really peaceful, perhaps it would be best to explore it in an electric car so that you're not creating loads of noise when you're trying to enjoy this area. The groves themselves are particularly attractive when there is a light wind, and the tall bamboo stalks can sway gently back and forth, and the bamboo itself, which if you didn't know is the tallest type of grass, and you might not even know that it is a grass, but it is. It's been used to manufacture various products such as baskets, cups, boxes and mats at local workshops for centuries. There is a Jakexvx bridge, also known as the Moon Crossing Bridge, which is Arashiyama's well-known central landmark. Nearby there's loads of small shops, restaurants and other attractions, including Tenryuji Temple, the bamboo groves and pleasure boats that are available for rent on the river. However, Arashiyama technically just refers to the mountains south of the river, but it's commonly used to name the entire district. The area north of the Jakexvx bridge is also known as Sagano. Next up we have the Dotonbori or Dotonbori. That can be spelt with both an N and an M in the middle. Now this is actually a street, but it's named after a canal of the same name which runs from Dotonbori-bashi Bridge to Nipponbashi Bridge, and it is in the Namba district of Osaka's Chiwo ward. Dotonbori is known as Osaka's principal tourist and nightlife area, and it'd be great for night photography in Horizon 6. There is also a local saying associated with this street, which is Kuadore, and this roughly translates to go bankrupt after spending an enormous amount of money on food, which is slightly random and probably not something that we're going to be doing in Horizon 6. However, still cool nevertheless, and I just thought I'd throw that in there for a bit of an interesting fact on Dotonbori. The street itself actually dates back to the 1620s as a theatre district with establishments along the canal edge, but many of these closed over the years due to a lack of interest in the traditional arts, and a lot of the theatres were also destroyed in World War II. And the only remaining theatre today is the Shochichuza Theatre, and with it being next to a canal, naturally river cruises are also available if you visit there for a more leisurely and relaxed tour of what is really quite a bustling area, especially at night time. So it's cool to be able to see it from another perspective on the water as well. Next up we move on to Fushimi Inari Shrine, which dates back to 711 AD, and it predates the capital's move to Kyoto in 794. It's a mountainside shrine with hundreds, if not thousands, of traditional vermilion torii gates, which are pictured here. The trails that you can access with these gates either side lead into the wooded forest of the sacred Mount Inari, which stands at 233 metres tall. The Fushimi Inari Shrine is the most important shrine of the several thousand dedicated to Inari, who was the Shinto god of rice, and foxes are thought to be Inari's messengers, resulting in many fox statues being located near this shrine. The Romon Gate, pictured here, was donated in 1959 by famous leader Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and it marks the shrine's entrance, and the main hall stands behind, where visitors are encouraged to pay respect to the resident deity by making a small offering. What would be really cool, and I know this is pushing the boat a bit, but what would be really cool is if we could actually do that. Say we were able to drive or walk up to this shrine and then give some credits or donate a car, would it be located here? So I suppose it's similar in a way to the gift drop in Horizon 5, where we were able to gift like new players some really cool cars, Forza Edition cars for example, but this could be donating in a similar way to the general Forza community, but located at the shrine. So you go to the shrine and you donate some credits or a car or something like that. That would be really cool because it's connected to this Japanese culture in Horizon's own way, a bit of creative license, which would be really cool. Next up we move on to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Atomic Bomb Dome Memorial. This is obviously part of Hiroshima the city, which we covered in episode 1, and I said that I'd come back to it. So it's part of the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, which is a 120,000 square metre area of trees, lawns and walking paths, which is of a stark contrast to the surrounding downtown area. It opened on the 5th of April 1915. The atomic bomb dome is what remains of the former prefectural industrial promotion hall, which is one of very few buildings to remain standing after the atomic bomb. The atomic bomb itself is when a US pilot dropped a bomb on what was the political and commercial heart of the city, which is essentially the reason that it was the chosen target for the bomb attacks. It unfortunately killed 80,000 people initially, but that's now believed to be somewhere within the region of 140 to 245,000, in conjunction with the subsequent day after bombing of Nagasaki, another nearby city. But it did contribute to the end of World War II, and it's actually the only time that a nuclear weapon has been used in warfare. It's never happened since, and it had never happened before. The main facility of the memorial is the Peace Memorial Museum, which consists of 2 buildings serving as part history museum and part advent of the nuclear bomb. So if this was to be included in Horizon 6, it would be a real place for us to pay respect to this and connect to that Japanese culture again, but in a completely different way, because obviously this is a very tragic event, and it would be a place for players to kind of respect that and kind of get to know the history of Japan and the things that have gone on, as opposed to some of the other ways that we're connecting to the culture, like the nightlife, for example, in Dotonbori. So there's completely different, but still it would be really cool to have this in the game, to pay that respect. Next up, we head back over to Tokyo and to the Imperial Palace, which is the official residence of Japan's Emperor and the Imperial family, because as I mentioned earlier, the previous residence of the Emperor when the capital was Kyoto was in Kyoto, but now that the capital is Tokyo, the Emperor naturally lives in Tokyo, and he lives at the Imperial Palace. So it's smack bang in the middle of Tokyo on the former historic site of its Edo Castle. There is a large park-like area surrounded by moats and massive stone walls, and it's in the Chiyoda district of the Chiyoda ward of Tokyo, short walk from Tokyo Station, so really accessible if you're a tourist using the really good Japanese rail network that I mentioned earlier in part 1. Edo Castle was formerly the seat of the Tokugawa shogun, who ruled Japan from 1603 to 1867. A year later, the shogunate was overthrown and the residence moved from Kyoto to the anagram city of Tokyo, where it is now based. Kokyo Gaien is a large plaza in front of the palace, and from here visitors can view the Nijubashi, which is 2 bridges that form an entrance to the inner grounds. The stone bridge in front is called Meganbashi, also known as the Eyeglass Bridge, and the bridge at the back, currently under renovation, where it was formerly wooden with 2 levels, and that is where the name Nijubashi Double Bridge is derived from. The inner grounds themselves are only open to the public on January the 2nd for New Year's greeting, and February the 23rd, which is the Emperor's birthday. However, the adjacent East Gardens are open to the public year round. There are guided tours, both Japanese and English, so you can really get to know the area, but you can only access them really inner areas on those 2 specific dates earlier in the year. On a similar note, we head now over to Nara Park, not Narrow, that's not just my accent because where I'm from, Narrow is usually pronounced Nara, but this is actually Nara, and it's a public park at the foot of Mount Wakakusa in the city of Nara. It's one of the oldest parks in Japan, dating back to 1880, and it's renowned for 3 Roman deer and world famous temples. Apparently, some deer actually bow to visitors to ask to be fed special deer crackers. Attractions in Nara Park include Todaiji, Kasuga Taishi, Kofukiji and the Nara National Museum. These are all really cool areas within Nara Park that you can visit when you are there, and obviously enjoy the wildlife and the 3 Roman deer as well. We are moving now on to another temple. This is the Sensoji Temple, also known as Asakusa Kannon Temple. It is an ancient Buddhist temple and the largest in Asakusa, Tokyo. The legend says that in the year 628, 2 brothers fished a statue of Kannon, who is the goddess of mercy, out of the Sumida River, and even though they put the statue back into the river, it always returned to them. Consequently, Sensoji was built nearby for the goddess of Kannon, the Bodhisattva of compassion, and the temple was completed in 645 making it Tokyo's oldest temple. There is a 5-storey pagoda and large gates pictured here. Visitors can first enter through the Kaminarimon, which is the Thunder Gate, the outer gate of the Sensoji Temple and the symbol of Asakusa and indeed the whole city of Tokyo. There is a shopping street of over 200 metres called Nakamise, which leads from the outer gate to the temple's second gate, which is called the Horizon. So obviously if you come in here for a bit of tourism, you might want to pick up some gifts to represent the local area, which is really cool. The Asakusa Shrine, which was built in the year 1649 by the Tokugawa Iemitsu, stands immediately adjacent to the temple's main building. And there are events such as the Sanja Matsuri, which is the annual festival of the Asakusa Shrine, held throughout the year. Okay, so we've only got 2 left now in my list of landmarks, and the first of these is the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. Now I haven't really got much to say about this because it kind of speaks for itself, as you'll see by the pictures. It's a pedestrian scramble crossing in Tokyo in front of Shibuya Station Hachiko, with an inundation of pedestrians fighting to get across the road, essentially. It's a massive junction, and as you can see in the picture, pedestrians can go from any forecorner to the others via this humongous crossing. It will be an absolute nightmare for traffic trying to get through, and there are up to 1,000 people on this crossing at any given time, but somehow people manage to avoid each other and just get on their merry way to wherever they're going, which is frankly incredible. And then finally we head back to Tokyo for the Tokyo Tower. This is a radio, communications and observations tower in the Shibakoen district in Minato, Tokyo. It opened on the 23rd of December 1958, so right before Christmas. It has 15 floors and it stands at 333 metres or 1,092 foot tall. You would think that they planned that exactly, maybe they did, who knows. This makes it the world's tallest self-supported steel tower, a mere 3 metres taller than its model, the Eiffel Tower. So they used the Eiffel Tower to design Tokyo Tower, and they managed to surpass it by 3 metres. Tokyo Tower was also Japan's tallest structure overall from its completion until 2012, when it was surpassed by Tokyo Skytree, which is a 634 metre tall observation tower. However, because this is not a self-supported steel tower, it doesn't steal that record of Tokyo Tower. The main deck at 150 metres is reached by elevator or 600 steps. You have to pay for both of them, so there's no reward for going up the stairs and not using the lift, but I probably would anyway. Its central location in Tokyo makes for interesting views all around. There are also look-down windows, a souvenir shop and a cafe. Mount Fuji is visible from the top deck, which is another 250 metres of elevator ride when the weather is good. When the weather is bad, you probably won't be able to see it. So wouldn't it be really cool if we could get out of our car, go up the elevator to the top of Tokyo Tower and see if we can spot Mount Fuji in the game? That would be awesome, because we know that Mount Fuji is going to be in the game. As mentioned in episode 1, that is confirmed, so that would be very cool. And the illumination of Tokyo Tower is operated 100% by on-site solar power generation, making it very, very sustainable indeed. So following the theme of Toyota City with the environmental model city, this is essentially an environmental model landmark. Such a huge tower, but all the illumination of it in the night is operated by on-site solar power, which is really, really cool. At this point, I would just also like to add in an unrelated fun fact to the video. If you didn't know, Japan has the most recorded earthquakes in the world due to sitting on the densest seismic network that there is in the world. So, begs the question, will Horizon 6 simulate earthquakes or other natural weather events like this? Of course, Horizon 5 introduced sandstorms, so it's not completely out of the realms of possibility for an earthquake, a typhoon, a monsoon, those kind of things to be included in the game. So it'd be really cool if all of a sudden we're driving through Tokyo City or something and then there's a massive earthquake, or we're driving along the coast and we get taken aback by a hurricane. It would be very cool, so maybe that's something that the developers are looking to do to advance the natural weather events that they've included in the game. Righty-ho, so that concludes part 2 of my episode 2 of my Forza Horizon 6 series. I really hope that you've enjoyed listening to those fun facts and information about those landmarks. Hopefully we'll see some of them in the game. Maybe the developers have already been implementing those. Like I've been saying throughout, some of them are really respectful of Japanese culture and it'd be great to connect with those. I really do hope that we get at least 1 or 2 of those real cultural sites to engage with that when we're playing the game, as a reminder of the location that we're in, similar to how we've got murals in Horizon 5 as a constant reminder that we're in Mexico. If for whatever reason you haven't yet watched part 1 or episode 1, definitely go and watch them now. There's been some stuff in this video that's referenced part 1 and some stuff that's referenced episode 1, so if you want some more context on those, definitely go and watch those videos. Hopefully this video's been slightly more concise. It's definitely felt it, even if it's a similar length, it's definitely felt more concise. So I will aim to carry that forward into part 3, episode 3 and episode 4. So there's still lots to look forward to in this Horizon 6 series, and I believe that we are going to be hearing more on Horizon 6 soon in the new year, so hopefully I'll be able to continue it with episode 5 and beyond once we've got some more information, and hopefully I'll be able to continue the series right up until the launch of Horizon 6. I would just like to thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you've stayed right till the end, then you're an absolute superstar. Please do hit subscribe and turn your notifications on. Give it a like as well, because that shows me that you appreciate what I do. I put a lot of work into these videos. A lot of time has gone into researching, refining my notes, recording and re-recording, editing, making a thumbnail, and then also compiling all the sources for all the images and research to put in the description as well. So if you can show that support, that would be greatly appreciated. And get involved in the comments. I always say this but nobody ever does, so please do leave your thoughts in the comments, even if it's just, you know, enjoyed the video, that's cool, I'll heart your comment and reply to you. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to answer, because somebody else might have the same question but they might be afraid to speak up, so just let me know and I'll reply to you and I'll get the information for you if I don't know it. So stay tuned for episode 3, thank you for watching, see you soon, bye.